Ladies, if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or beyond, you're either perimenopausal, menopausal, or like myself, I just turned 51 and I'm already postmenopausal. You're going to want to watch this because I spent the last 8 years optimizing my environment to get better sleep. And there are some things that were very expensive for us to do. So we did those very things first. And then we slowly, that's why it took me 8 years to get it optimized because it was so expensive. But I had to deal with a situation. We purchased our house. We actually built our house almost 24 years ago. And we were young and dumb. We just thought it looked cute. It had good quality, had it inspected. Wonderful. We didn't think, because we didn't know, that you should not have your primary bedroom above an unheated space. Ours is above our garage. It's the worst mistake we ever made. And I've been paying for it for 24 years. So, because here's the thing. It's hotter than Hades in Georgia from almost the end of April to the middle of September. Let me tell you, you can always put more clothes on during the wintertime because it does get cold in here being above the garage. Our room is the coldest in the winter and it's the hottest during the summer. I don't mind winter because you can always put more on. You can put more blankets on. You can wear cozy pajamas. It's all good. I can sleep like a baby during those months. But let me tell you, I could not take enough off during the hotter months, and it was hot. So we had to deal with that situation. And believe me, next house I buy, I will not have a primary bedroom. I don't think I will even have a primary bedroom upstairs. I would have it downstairs somewhere, and I definitely wouldn't have it over an unfinished area. So let's talk about the other obstacle we had to face that was a very pricey obstacle. And that is my husband's allergies. My husband started having really bad allergies after my twins were born. And apparently it's common. Once you start having kids, they bring home stuff. And his immune system just went into overdrive, and he's been having allergy issues since then. So we had the most expensive change we had to make was to replace all the carpeting in our home with hardwood floors. We did engineered hardwood. There's two things I would have done differently if I could do it over again. The first thing is I think I would have chosen LVP, the luxury vinyl plank flooring. I think I would have done that this time around instead of engineered hardwood. Now, I did select the hand-scraped hardwood, which is fantastic because if something does happen, like a knife fall on the floor and ding it, you can always use these little stain things, and it actually, once you stain it, the scratch or whatever, it looks like it's just part of the character. So I did make a wise choice in that. The thing I didn't do very wisely is I chose extremely dark hardwoods. They're beautiful. I love them until about 2 weeks in, and you could see every particle of dust. Now, granted, it probably is good that it causes me to vacuum a lot more, so my husband's actually doing better because of the allergies. But it is awful just to maintain. So that's the mistake I feel like I made when we did that. But other than that, it was great for my husband's allergies. It's been a lifesaver. So definitely recommend doing non-carpet in your bedroom area. It will help with the breathing issues. Could not change where our bedroom is. So how did we solve that as far as cooling and heating for our bedroom? Well, here is the second most expensive thing that we did, and we bought an 8 sleep cover for our mattress. Y'all, I'm not exaggerating when I say that is the best purchase we have ever made for our home. I absolutely love my 8 Sleep. We actually have the subscription where it knows what the weather is outside and it adjusts the temperature for you to make sure you get quality sleep. So I very rarely have to manually adjust my thing now. It knows how well I sleep and what temperature I sleep the best at, and it automatically adjusts for that. So I've only had one issue with the 8 Sleep, and they resolved it very quickly. I woke up, my husband was out of town, of course, when this happened, but the 8 Sleep sprung a leak, and I woke up thinking I'd already wet myself in the bed because I was like, why am I so wet? Luckily, the thing is that 8 Sleep, even when you have a leak like that, it doesn't penetrate your mattress. It has a moisture barrier underneath the cover. So, and we also have a thing over our mattress that protects it from moisture. So both of those things, my mattress did not get wet at all. And I just contacted 8 Sleep, and I had to take a few pictures and show them what the leak looked like. Once I uploaded those, they actually sent me a brand new 8 Sleep. So it's well worth the money. If you can afford it. I know not everybody can afford it, but believe me, it's been a game changer for me. So, but those are the two most, like my mattress. Now, we originally, when we first moved into this house, we had a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and we spent a lot of money on that, thinking that it was going to last us 20 years. It does not. And I love the Tempur-Pedic until I didn't. And once it starts going bad, it's incredibly awful to sleep on. And it didn't last more than a normal mattress. Normal mattresses last about 5 to 8 years, and it lasted about 7 years. And we even continued using it for a couple more years, even when it was awful. So I think the mattress, we ended up trying the box mattresses because we decided to go a little bit cheaper. And we both love the memory foam. So we ended up going with a Layla. That's the one we like the best. It's almost to the point now, it may need to be replaced because I think it's been 5 or 6 years since we've had that one. But it has lasted just as long as the Tempur-Pedic at a much lower cost. Other changes we made, we have Brooklinen sheets, which I think this is our second set of those, and I'm absolutely in love with them. The more you wash them, the softer they get, and they're just like butter. I absolutely love my sheets. The other thing that we had to have, or I got for myself, I bought myself a weighted blanket. And when I go on vacation and I don't have my weighted blanket, it's hard for me to get to sleep. It's just like this cozy thing that helps me. It feels like a little hug at night. So I actually love my weighted blanket. Also, with my husband's allergies, I can't have just any kind of blanket on the bed. So we have a special velour blanket. Now, we've had this one probably about it's been about 12 years. I think I've had that velour one for about 12 years. And it's starting to show a little bit of wear where I wash it because I can wash it in hot water, which is good for my husband's allergies. The comforter cover that I have, the duvet, is a Brooklinen. Now, I can't wash that in hot, but I can take it off and wash it with the sheets easily. The actual comforter is a down alternative. And I can wash that in hot water, which is fantastic. So that's where our bedding is right now. And I'm really happy with all that. The hardest thing, absolutely hardest thing that I had trouble finding, my husband found his right off the bat, and that's a pillow. I think I spent as much as we did on our 8 sleep mattress cover on different pillows, ranging from the cheapest cheap to a high priced one. And I found one middle of the search, thinking that it would work because I have a allergy cover to go over my pillow, and then I have a silk pillow to go over that. By the way, I love my silk pillowcase. I bought a down pillow, and y'all, it was so nice. It was so nice. And I thought if I had the allergy cover on it that it wouldn't bother my husband's allergies. It did. Within 3 days, he was stuffy and just having issues. He said, "What has changed?" And it was like my pillow. And he said, "You got to get rid of that pillow." So off to the races again. I started having to buy more pillows. And I finally ended up getting one from Brooklinen, and it's their down alternative pillow. It's not as good as the down. No, it's not. But it's close enough. And I think I finally found something that I can live with. So that took me probably a full year, because I would buy a pillow and I would sleep on it for maybe a week or two just to make sure I was adjusting okay. And y'all, I tried Tempur-Pedic pillows, did not like them. I've tried all kinds, memory foam, whatever. I think I took recommendations from everybody. I took some of the top rated ones and tried them. Pillows are one of those things that you just have to try it. And the sad part is, you can't send them back. There's no return on pillows, from what I understand, because those are so intimate, I guess. It's like returning underwear. You don't want to return any underwear. But anyway, it took me a while. So anybody want a pillow? I got plenty here. So there's our bedding. We have an air purifier in our room that helps with the dust and allergens, and we change that filter, and we pretty much keep it running all day long. We have a essential oil diffuser. Thank goodness my husband does not have any kind of reactions to essential oils, and he does okay with it. And my two favorites for sleep are eucalyptus and lavender, and I switch it up depending on what mood I'm in. During the day, I kind of turn it on sometimes with lemon just to help it smell fresher. But yeah, so that's pretty much. Let me think if there's anything else. Oh, one other thing I do is I tape my mouth at night. Yes, I do. All it takes is a little bitty piece, and you just put it right here on the middle, and it really helps with my snoring. Now, what will really help is I were to lose weight. I'm definitely trying. But for now, I'm taping my mouth shut. I have tried some of those tongue things that they're not working. I wake up the thing in my bed. It suctions your tongue to pull it forward, and it's supposed to get your tongue, because what causes your snoring is your tongue blocking your airway. And so I tried that. That didn't help me any, and it just ended up coming off in the middle of the night. If I put it on too tight, I woke up with a sore tongue. So that didn't work for me. It may work for other people. I also sleep with nose strips on. I have tried the little magnetic ones that you stick in your nostrils, and that came off all the time. So I toss and turn a lot, so that may impact it a lot. But yeah, so those are some of the changes that I made, and I feel like, the other one, I almost forgot. The last one, and it was one of the first things we did. I am super sensitive to light, and when light, and I must have thin eyelids, because when light hit them, my little eyelids would pop right open whether I'm ready to wake up or not. So we had to do something to help with the light exposure in here. Now, What we did may not work for you, but it's the only option that we had at the time, because I couldn't use blackout curtains for my husband's allergies. I didn't want to have the fabric next to his head that I could not take off and wash very easily, and they're very awkward. I didn't want to have to take curtains down every time I had to wash them. Now, if y'all have suggestions on curtains that are easier to take down and keep clean that are blackout, then I'm more than willing to listen. But the other issue that we have is that our house was built in the early 2000s, and what was popular is the palladium windows. And if you don't know what a palladium window is, it's the curved topped windows. So we have one above our bed, and we also have a curved window in our sitting area right off our bedroom. They're beautiful, yes. If I built another house again, I will never, ever, ever build windows that have curves. And the reason is because you cannot find anything to cover them, especially anything blackout. So what we did, and I'll share some options that might work for you if you don't have weird shaped windows like ours do, and what I would do in my next house. But what we had to do was we purchased this blackout film that goes on the window. And you spray on a little bit of water, and then you put it on there and make sure and then you cut the edges off. So it's like almost contact paper. It's like contact paper. If you've ever done contact paper, you know what I'm talking about. But it's more water-based and not sticky. So it's semi-permanent. I cannot just remove it when I want to let a little light in. So it's a pain in the butt. I would not recommend, if you are a type of person that likes opening up your curtains to let light in during the day, you're not going to have that with this. But we needed it for our sleep. The only issue I've had with those since we've done it is as the sun heats it up some, it pulls away on the edges, and because it's black, I've just taken black electrical tape and taped it on the edge, and that has worked great. I don't have any issues, and I can show you what the room looks like. I took this video in the middle of the day, and all I did was turn out the lights and close the doors, and you can see how dark it is. But from the outside, no one knows that there was tint on the windows. I'll show you a video of that, showing what it looks like. It just looks like there's curtains over the window. So that's what worked for us. Now, I know that may not work for other people. A lot of people want to be able to open their windows during the day. Now, if I were to build another house, which I plan to eventually, I have a goal to have a small little house in the middle of our property someday that we own in rural Georgia. But right now, we're stuck in the suburbs. But when I build my next house, all the windows will be at least rectangular or square so that I can easily find things to fit them. And I did find some retractable blackouts that you put on your window on one side, and it's like a little thing that goes around the casing of it, and then you pull it shut at night, and it's as dark as what we have on our windows, if not darker, I think. And then in the morning, you just open it back up. So if you've got rectangular windows, I would definitely look into those. There's different brands, and you can research it, but it's called retractable blackout shades. The other thing that helps is my egg. I call it the egg, but it's the sunrise simulation alarm clock. Absolutely love this alarm clock. This is actually the second one that we've had in the last 10 years, but it's amazing. It actually mimics the sunrise, and it starts playing birds as the sun starts coming up. So it eases you out of sleep no matter what time you have to be awake. It's a time lapse so you can kind of see how it eases into the light as time passes. But yeah, I actually like that alarm clock. So let me try to think. I'll make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I don't think I have. But there are habits that I need to work on. And just for my own sake, we really have a minimalistic bedroom, which is great for sleep, but I'd like to make it a little bit more cozy. So I may do future video sometime, and it'll be way in the future because right now I got to work on some other things. But I'd like to cozy up our bedroom, and when I do, I'll make a video showing you how I do it. I still want to keep it very minimalistic, but just add a little bit more coziness to it, so it doesn't look so sterile, because I know it does look sterile right now, but it is great for sleep. But anyway, I just wanted to pop on here and share that. Next video, I think I'm going to share the skincare routine that ChatGPT made for me for morning and evening, and let you guys see what it recommended for me. Anyway, so if you have ideas of how you have set up your environment to sleep better, or if you'd like more information on any of the stuff that I've done, please comment below and let me know. I'm going to link as much as I can. Like I said, it's been 8 years, over the last 8 years, but I'll link everything down below. I'm not affiliated with any of these products. They are things that I love and use just because I like them. So if you're interested, you can use them. Click the links below. But I don't make anything off of it. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off here. Remember, you only have 2 lives. The one you were born into and the one you choose. And I'm finally starting to choose mine. So it's never too late. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye.